What's up, guys? Just want to go ahead and get this out of the way. If you watch the video with the Rampage and Vanderlei fight, or the in the Gay Guard Rory McDonald fight, really appreciate it. That was a fun time. This is what I actually really enjoy doing when fights are happening and stuff, instead of I don't know, watching them at a bar or something. I'd rather be talking about it. It's a lot of fun to interact and see people's comments and what they thought of the fight and whatever. It's fun to also kind of, I don't know, predict and see if you can figure out what's going to happen in a fight. But if you enjoyed the video, or I mean, if you went and watched the video, I really appreciate it. If not, if this is the first time, whatever, it's all good. I am thinking about doing a live video for the main fight on here on YouTube. So if you're interested in that, give me a comment telling me you are. If not, no big deal. But I'm still gonna record and I'm still gonna watch the fight. But I am here to do the predictions, my predictions for 229. I'm only gonna do the main card. The whole card is pretty nice, but that would take forever, and you don't want to sit here and stare at me for 30 minutes. I don't want to do that either. But the first fight is the Karate Hottie and Felice. Felice is looking good lately. I thought she was kind of done after, not done, but I thought she was gonna slide off after the Page fight. She didn't look that good in that fight, but she's really been surging lately. But that being said, I don't know. As good as she's looked, I think the Karate Hottie's always right there. I think she really is near the top of that division, if not, in the top probably 3 or 4 in that division, in my opinion. I think a lot of that has to do with, I don't know how everyone feels, or if they think it's all bullshit, or if it's real with the whole Jackson camp like separation, and if it's really falling apart as bad as like Cowboy said. If you haven't heard, that he's saying there's a big split, and that the camp's really going to shit. It's kind of more about money, and like Greg Jackson's taking a step back, which that really could be a huge thing. That being said, she is still training with bad motherfuckers down there at Jackson's. Shut up. Sorry. But my gut on this one, it goes to the Karate Hottie. I think she's a little bit more well-rounded. I think she's more in her prime than Felice. I think Felice is stronger, but I think like on the feet, I think Michelle Waterson's gonna offer a little too much for Felice to handle. And on the ground, I don't know. I would almost say on the ground, I think it's probably a wash. If not, I think I even give the grappling edge to Michelle Waterson. Yeah, I think Michelle by probably like submission, maybe even TKO in like the second or third round. I think the first round's going to be pretty exciting, and then after that, I think if Michelle can get comfortable, I think she'll be able to kind of take care of business in there. But you never know. At the same time, Felice has been looking good lately. But yeah, I think I'll take Karate Hottie, by about the end of the second, third round. The Derek Lewis Alexander Volkov fight is like a dark horse of this card. One, because I think this card is going to have a lot of like not shitty fans. I don't want to say that. Damn it, my brain is not working. Casual fans. I just think that's just a part of the sport. It's every card. It's not just because of who the main event is or anything. I'm not saying that. But like, not a lot of people know Volkov and Derek Lewis had a really weird, fight with Ngannou. But people that don't follow the sport that heavily and don't know how badass Verdum is, and the fact that Volkov basically just beat his ass and took him out of there, is a huge thing. And Derek Lewis has been in the game, and he fucking hits you and you're fucked. Like he just somehow finds a way. Like Travis Brown has him almost dead, stomach kicks or body kicks, and he finds a way to, hurt him and finish him. He's just a straight fucking savage. I really believe Derek Lewis is an animal in there, and it's really hard to take that kind of guy out of there. That being said, I like the way Volkov looked, obviously, against Verdum. I like how long he is. I liked how calm he was fighting a fucking one of the best heavyweights, you could argue, if not. I don't know. I don't think he's the best heavyweight ever, but he's in the top 5, hands down. No ifs, ands, or buts about that, just because of his resume and how good he's looked, how the people he's finished, not just beat, but finished. And Volkov just dealt with him. So I don't know. Mm. This one is my 50-50 fight. Like I really just every time I try to think about this fight, it's almost harder and harder. Um, my brain tells me Volkov. I think he'll be able to. He's just gonna kind of be able to pick him apart, stay on the stay out of range. Don't stay away from Derek and just pick him apart. But there's something that tells me Derek can connect, and once he connects, he's not gonna let him up, and then who knows what happens. But if I'm having to put money on it, I'm putting money on Volkov. I think he's fixing to be catapulted in his next fight. If I had to make a prediction, he's probably if he wins, and especially in like if he's able to go in there and devastate Derek Lewis somehow, I think you'll see him fight Stipe next. I think that's an awesome fight. I think Derek and Stipe is an awesome fight as well. That would be pretty interesting actually, and a good fight for Stipe to come back to. See how he is after that knockout. But yeah, I think I'll take Volkov by. Mm, I would say decision. If not, maybe if Derek gets tired, he can finish him in the third, like TKO in the third. The OSP in the Dominic Reyes fight. Dominic Reyes looked awesome in his last fight, and OSP is hit and miss. He hung in there with Jones for 5 rounds, and he's knocked out some awesome fighters, but he's also been clipped and knocked out himself. He's one of them dudes. He's, in my opinion, one of those very interesting dudes. I like to watch him fight, and I want him to do well simply because he's fun to watch. He's unique. I think he's a good fit, like for the division, especially with all the potential moves that people are fixing to do to heavyweight. Like I kind of think that division's fixing to get shaken up, and he's going to end up right there at the top if he can, keep his shit together. Um, but this kid, this Dominic Reyes dude, I kind of think this might be his coming out party. I think he's actually going to shock a lot of people, especially like the people, the hardcore people who do follow OSP and they've, seen what he's been able to do. I kind of think Dominic Reyes is going to clip him and actually deal with him on the feet. The way Ovens is kind of loosey goosey and kind of, I don't know, his style is just a little. I think he's going to get clipped in this fight by Dominic. So I'll take Dominic by honestly, I think first round. I think a first round KO. But at the same time, if it went the other way with a first round KO, I wouldn't be surprised either. Just I think it's going to be a quick 1 round light heavyweight like boom fight, And I've seen OSP get stopped. I've seen him get clipped. He's had a couple rough fights. And I think that, like I said, I think this will be Dominic's coming out party, and he'll be catapulted into that really crazy kind of division. But again, that's the same division with the shakeups. So if he can win and beat OSP, he's right there in the mix, and I think that's good for the division too. New faces. Excuse me. The fucking main event. I might be more excited for this fight than the main event, and I wasn't when it initially got announced, but I think it's awesome because I've wanted Pettis to kind of shine, and I like not necessarily that I was a huge fan or anything, but he's so fucking entertaining when he's on. And he kind of got away from it, and it took him a while to find his footing in the UFC. When he made the jump, he gets the belt, then he loses the belt, then it's like hit and miss. He's 50-50, but it's he's making this turn into where he's instead of trying to fight these takedowns and all this, he's like fuck it, I'll go to the ground and I'll just work on jiu-jitsu. So it's like he's gonna be able to throw his full arsenal because he doesn't give a shit about going to the ground. That being said, you are going to the ground with Tony Ferguson, a 10th planet fucking jiu-jitsu weirdo. Like his arms are so long, he's got darce chokes for days, he's durable as shit. He hits hard, but his striking's weird. It's just there's a really dope fight. But I'm gonna say but a lot. But him coming back so quickly after tearing his knee, his LCL off the bone, felt weird to me. Not weird, like I don't doubt that he's healthy. It's just mentally, I'm curious. As a person who had a knee injury and all that, I am nothing close to a fighter or a pro fighter or anything like that. But it was mentally weird to do anything for me. He obviously has, a crazy mental, game and everything like that. He's very, strong-willed and stuff like that. But I'm curious to see, if Anthony goes straight to it, if he goes straight to the kick, if he just says, I don't give a shit about his knee, I'm going to throw whatever I throw. and curious to see if Tony looks as like quick and agile and pulling guard and rolling into things like he was before he got hurt. Um, Now towards this stupid thing. If you watch my video the other night, we're fucking low on stupid ink and it keeps popping up. Um, but about the actual fight, like taking everything else out of the equation, the comeback and all that, just strictly like Anthony Pettis versus Tony Ferguson. I was 100% in like I think Tony's got an easier fight on his hands than he could have had with Khabib or a couple other people in the division. And then I was like, you know what? With fucking that's Showtime Pettis. Like he really can. If he fights the way he knows he can, and that he should fight, I think I just started like all of a sudden it was like I had Ferguson up here and Pettis here for this fight, and then it was like slowly but surely it was like leveling out for me. And the reason why is we've seen Tony get clipped early, and Anthony Pettis might be the scariest person inside that first round when it comes to like. There's obviously first round fighters that are amazing in the first round too, but I'm saying I think that's where he's the best. That's where all his explosions there. That's where he's this sniper, and if he can pick his shot, I kind of see him catching Tony early, and I'm not saying that it can't go the other way. I'm not saying this can't be a drawn out dog fight where Tony just overwhelms him and pressures him like RDA did. But for some reason, when I pick this fight, every time I go back around to it, I'm picking Pettis. And I like a month and a half ago when this fight got announced or whenever that was, I never thought I would have landed here to say that I think Pettis was going to win. But with everything coming behind Tony, he got a lot of emotions, the knee, the losing the belt, the everything he's went through, and then you got to go in there and really fucking mind your P's and Q's with a killer. And a rejuvenated killer who realized I'm too big for 45, who realized like fuck the wrestling, I'm going to work on my BJJ, and I'm just going to go back to Showtime. Like I'm going to try to kick your fucking head off, and if you take me down, I'm going to submit you. And he's looking great. So yeah, I'm gonna take Pettis by first round KO. Yep. Obviously, could be wrong. Wouldn't be surprised if that's the complete opposite and it's a dogfight. But for some reason, that's what I feel. I feel Pettis by like body kick or even a head kick, and then like a TKO. Something along those lines. Okay, so the main event, obviously. I'm really, really at first was leaning like I don't really agree with a lot of the analysts, and they have to do their job, which is to it's to sell a fight, and also you have to give the dude the benefit of the doubt, and I'm talking about Conor. Conor does have great power. He has great accuracy. He has weird movement. He has good in and out movement. They've just I heard somebody the other day describe him as like a fencer, and I was like, that's actually that's a good point. Okay, and if you've been on my channel before, I've had a video where I was a little biased against the dude and whatever. And I'm still not his biggest fan, but I respect the game. I respect what he's done and that he can knock people fucking dead. And he's also had some rough fights since his move to 55, but he also had probably his best performance against Alvarez. And, a lot of people, you can go back and forth on how good you think Eddie is, and I'm definitely not on the boat of that he's that great, but he was the champ at the time, and he beat who he was supposed to beat. It is what it is. But it's hard for me to see how a lot of people think this fight could go, and I keep seeing a lot of people saying that they think it's going to be like a dog fight and a back and forth, like a brawl and deep rounds and all that, and it's really hard for me to see that being the case. It's just my opinion. It could be that, I guess. When I look at this fight with everything I know from both camps and both styles and both fighters, I see an early knockout or like a third round TKO submission. I just don't know if Khabib can't get the takedown, if he's going to be able to hang out on the feet for the first 3 rounds when Conor's his most dangerous. And if Khabib is able to do to him what he's done to everyone else, at the end of that first round, if he spent that whole first round on his back with that kind of grappler on top of him beating his ass, like if that's what ends up happening, Conor's just not going to be the same in that second round. Um, I just it's like I don't know, like that's the only reason I say it's hard for me to see it being a dogfight, and it's not even involved with who I think is going to win. It's just I don't think that's in the cards for this fight. Exciting, yeah, exciting because that I think that first round is gonna it's all about that first probably 2 minutes. Like, which game plan do you see start to trend while the other one starts to, oh shit, what are they have, who's gonna have to start making the adjustments really quick, because you're gonna notice, I think at like the 2 minute mark you're gonna notice somebody having to go to plan B already, and that it could be Conor already on his back, and he just can't get this dude off of him. He can't hit him. He's starting to realize like he's going to be on his back, or he's going to be fighting off the fence, or is it going to be Khabib where he just can't get close to him? He keeps getting punched in the face. He's got to worry about getting rocked, so it's got to get to plan B. You got to find a way in. Is I think really like I really do. I think that 2 minute mark you're really going to see a switch. But like I said, if you've been on this channel before or on my channel before, I was wrong before, and it ended in 13 seconds. That could easily happen again. With these little gloves, freak shit happens, and accuracy happens. It's possible. Um, I think it's gonna be really hard for Conor to stop that grappling. Um, the part on the feet is where he's gonna be okay. Like if he gets driven into the cage, I don't think he's got too terribly much to worry about. Like if he gets in deep on a takedown though, I don't think Conor's been able to. He's never gonna be able to bridge the gap to be on the same level as him. I think he's gonna bridge the gap to be able to survive certain things, but I think if he misses on a couple punches and Khabib closes that distance, the more times that happens, just the quicker it's gonna go downhill for him. Okay, now jump to the other side. Khabib's never gonna be the boxer that Conor is. Um, I just and on the feet, I'll go ahead and say, like, I'm not trying to be biased about, so I'll say on the feet, Khabib has to know, like, this isn't Al Quinta, this isn't fucking some of these other guys that are more grappler based fighters. Like, he really can't fuck around on the feet because he will get lit on fire. Um, but prediction wise, like I said, I think it's a first round knockout if Conor can do what he wants to do. But I don't think that's gonna happen. That's just my opinion. I've been wrong. I've been wrong about this particular fighter. I've been wrong about a bunch of other fighters. So it is what it is. If that happens, it is what it is. But what I think is going to happen is I think a lot of pressure from Khabib, and I think picking his shots, picking his moments. I think he's going to be able to get that takedown. Maybe not the first one, and maybe not till like the second half of the first round. And then I think by the end of the first round, he's gonna feel how it was to grapple with Conor and realize, like, okay, like, just stick to the game plan, um, and be a lot like Kane versus Junior. Like, I see this fight a lot like that. Now, one fight went to Junior, so I think like Conor has that much of a chance, like 1 out of 3. But I think Khabib has the like 2 out of 3 chance. Like, I think it's going to be more like the second and third fight between Kane and JDS. Like, pushed up against the cage, suffocating him, dragging him down when he can, just constantly hitting him with shots, like not trying to knock him out, but just trying to hit him and hit him and hit him, just zap everything he can. But yeah, like if I'm putting money on it, I think Khabib stays undefeated. I think he has the right pressure, and picks his spots the right way. Doesn't try to do dumb exchanges, and he seems to be pretty calm. I think they're both sticking to their guns on this one. But yeah, I think Khabib by like third round submission. I think he'll have him tired enough and just be like, you know what, let's take this to the house. Like, I'm not gonna fuck around and risk anything, and just go ahead and either pound him out or throw on a choke real quick. Um, but hey, like I said, I've been wrong. I'm not trying to be biased. It's not that. It is what it is. So Hope you enjoyed. Like I said, I'm kind of thinking about doing the live YouTube thing for the fight. I think that'd be fun. Interact a little bit. But if not, I'll just record normally. It is what it is. If you want, leave a comment, a like, whatever. Let me know if you like this. Let me know if you don't like it. Or just don't say anything and just watch it. It is what it is. But hope you're having a good night. And see you when I see you. Later. Button's way down here, so hold on.